And we're back. So I didn't make an old-fashioned. I made the improved whiskey cocktail. I don't know what this is an improvement on. Is it just the old-fashioned, or was there a cocktail called a whiskey cocktail? I guess I'll have to do some searching. Because essentially this is an old-fashioned. It's got very little simple syrup or sugar and water. And it's got like a quarter shot of Luxardo and a quarter shot of Luxardo, a quarter shot of simple syrup instead of... I usually put half a shot in an old-fashioned. So, yeah, you got a little bit of cherry in there, and then you got a pretty liberal splash, in my case, of absinthe. So you got licorice in there, you got licorice, cherry, and you got two kinds of bitters. So you got lots of spices going on in there. And I made this with rye, so it's extra spicy. It's a delicious cocktail. I just kind of wonder if it's just improving an old-fashioned, or if there was another cocktail this was improving upon. I'm not going to have another one of these tonight while I edit. It's kind of a one and done night tonight. We're going to move on. Speaking of moving on, this is George A. Romero's The Amusement Park. Now, I know you all know who George A. Romero was. That's not a mystery. What you don't know is there's more to George A. Romero than Night of the Living Dead, Day of the Dead, Dawn of the Dead. That's not all he did. I don't know if I covered it already, if it's still in the bucket here. Season of the Witch. There's Always Vanilla. I think I talked about those together. But yeah, I don't know if I got to them yet. They might be back there. This here, another of George Romero's non-zombie movies. And this one, yeah, this one's different. There's Japanese on this poster. See you in the park someday, it says. Yeah, I don't know what's with the Japanese. It was the best quality poster I can find, and yeah, I can almost read those little words down there. Okay, alrighty. 1973, Laurel Productions. We have a narrator in this movie, and it's kind of a bit like an after-school special. A kindly old grandpa warning us that we, too, one day will be old. And, yeah, some of us, yeah, I'm pretty close myself. Anyway, off we go to the amusement park, where elders are trading their valuables for admission. An antique clock, $15. Your wristwatch, $5. Take it or leave it. Our humble narrator has cash, so he gets in for half the price. But what the fuck has he gotten into? At the restaurant, he is fed slop while an older gentleman feeds on lobster. Outside, he is called out for talking to some children. Now, I know, perverts and everything, but this guy's just talking to the kids, and they, like, start freaking out about it. Like, parents start freaking out about it. I have heard, through a credible source, one of my old schoolmates who lived in LA for a long time, that you, as an adult, cannot go to the park unless you have children. Come on, my LA peeps, is this actually true? You can't go to the park? Just arrest the fucking perverts and leave the rest of us alone. We might want to take a picture of a squirrel or a tree. Why the fuck could we not go to the park? Anyway, the parents get all upset because this old guy's talking to their kids. So he's not able to get the lobster dinner at the concession stand there. He has to settle for crackers and peanut butter. And he sits there and eats his crackers and peanut butter. Like, yeah, I can see having to do that one day myself. At one point, he follows some young lovers into the fortune teller. Josie, you there? He follows them in there to, like, kind of, he wants to hear their fortune, you know, because, like, he doesn't have any. God, this reminds me of me. Nothing going on in my own life, so I have to live vicariously through you all on Twitter and Instagram. But I have this David Hasselhoff action figure. Do you have that? And also this guy. He's like filled with sand. Okay. Let's get back to the picture, shall we? To see a fortune teller and watches in horror as her crystal ball shows an elderly woman desperately trying to get help for her dying husband. And of course not being able to get that help. Oh, pardon me. He stumbles outside, and when the fortune is all told, the young man walks out there and punches him in the chops. The old man awakens, you know, he's laying on the ground, to find the park empty. Well, must have closed while he was knocked out there on the ground. Until these bikers show up, a bunch of bikers show up and assault him and, like, mug him. And then he's robbed by pickpocketers. I can say that, pickpocketers. And then, to beat all, a salesman is there trying to sell them retirement properties. Yeah, here's this great condo you can get. Nothing but old folks here. You can ride around on your... They have mobility scooters back then? I don't think they did. You can walk around with your cane and comfort in this retirement community. And special deals for you seniors. Okay. I'm getting kind of excited here. Apparently this movie was commissioned to show the dangers of abuse on the elderly. But man, today the roles have changed. Probably not so much for the poor elderly. They're probably still pretty well abused. But boomer assholes are doing just fine. They have all the money and power, and it's my generation and the generations below that are taking a lot of this abuse. We all ended up in the service industry. Now, I'm going to say, I think it's fair to say that the entertainment industry is a service industry. I didn't have the quality health insurance. I didn't have no fucking pension. So don't tell me with your fucking Cadillac and your vacation home that you need that Social Security. 'Cause fuck you. I got no pension. I work at a fucking gas station. And I gotta work there until I die. Being abused by a system that benefits the boomer assholes. I feel you, old timer. And I'm not even an old timer yet. It's probably going to get worse before I get to this guy's age. Because these fuckers will have milked it all. They'll pass it on to their children. And the rest of us will be left to suffer. Okay. This was seriously depressing. I'm not going to lie. This movie was depressing. But honestly amazing. I mean, I don't know if the people who commissioned this, like, this is what they were looking for, but holy shit. And it just goes to show you how much has changed. And maybe it hasn't changed that much. Maybe it was still the older folks. Maybe it's not about age. It's about Rich. Because he was sitting there. He's the same age as the rich guy who was eating lobster. So it's not about the generation. It's not about the age difference. It's about these rich fucking assholes and their lobster, leaving the rest of us with crackers and peanut butter. While you came to the circus to get a few laughs out of me, now you leave me to eat crackers and peanut butter. So honestly, I wrote things had changed since 1973. I was fucking wrong. Things haven't changed since 1973. It's the exact same bullshit. I'll just be happy if I can afford my booze until I die. Once again, it's a 5-ring circus on the late night picture show. The Amusement Park, George A. Romero. Okay. 2. So we had like 4 4-ring circuses in a row, and now 2 5-ring circuses in a row. In one double feature about, or set in amusement parks. Okay. I've kind of lost track of where I'm at as far as the weeks, but I think this is next week's picture. We're going to dig in here. We're going to see what we get. I almost had one stick to my hand. Oh, God damn it. Okay. So, I really wanted to watch the 70s version of Invasion of the Body Snatchers before I reviewed the older version. So now I gotta do it. I gotta watch it. and kind of make some notes. And I might go upstairs and do that right fucking now. Because what I pulled was Invasion of the Body Snatchers and War of the Worlds. So I have the original Invasion of the Body Snatchers written up. I have seen the 70s version with Donald Sutherland. I mean, kind of hard to miss that. I just haven't written it up. And I got War of the Worlds. I got a lot of history of War of the Worlds, you know, from the radio program to the 1952-3 remake or movie to the rock opera. Yes, we listened to that record when I was in junior high. To a 2005 maybe remake with Tom Cruise. I don't know. I'll talk about both movies, and maybe I'll talk about that record too. It was fucking great. Next week on the Late Night Picture Show, Invasion of the Body Snatchers and War of the Worlds. Now you know the drill. Do the thing. Yeah. I'm definitely going to have something with less flavors next time. Just like more of that whiskey, and I might smush up some blackberries and put it in there. But be sure and join us next week for Invasion of the Body Snatchers and War of the Worlds, classics here on the Late Night Picture Show. And yeah, we'll mention the radio show. Oh, pardon me. Where are we at? There we go. Good night, kids.